I was thinking back, being maybe a little nostalgic this last week, and I was thinking in my own life, and there was a moment in my life where I finally understood the love of Christ. I grew up in Lakeland, Florida, which is not really the Bible Belt. We're sort of south of it, but I had a lot of Christian friends growing up. And I did not come from a Christian home. I did not attend church as a child, did not believe in the gospel, would tell you that I didn't. And I had a lot of friends that would say a lot of things to me over the years through elementary school and middle school and even high school. And they were well-meaning, but I always thought they were mean-spirited in what they said. At some point, I started attending our summer camp. Most of you know some of these details, some of you don't, but I started attending summer camp, and I would hear these things, and I still thought pretty mean-spirited. I graduate high school, and my life sort of comes apart a little bit in some things that happened in the home. And I got a call one day from Pastor Jim, Dr. Blizzard's son, who's the pastor to this day in Lakeland. And he said, "Steve, I'd like to meet with you." Now, I'd known him for 9 years at this point. And so I said, okay, I'll meet with you. And some things had happened. Like I said, my life was sort of coming undone. And he sat me down in his office, and I was ready for him to just blast me the way everyone's always blasted about heaven and hell and so on and so forth. And he sat me down, and he said, "Steve, I love you. You know what I want for you, but I want you to know that I'm there if you ever need me." He hardly said anything about the gospel, except that statement of, "You know what I want." And throughout the years at camp, I knew what he meant by that. There wasn't a doubt in my mind what he meant, but he didn't press, he didn't yell, he didn't point the finger at me. Expression of love. That was a turning point in my life. It was a gospel message without so much of the words. Now, the reason that was so powerful, I want to emphasize this for a moment, is because I knew what he meant when he said, "You know what I want for you." I heard him preach. I knew that. It wasn't like out of the blue that he said that. But what I understood in that moment is that he loved me with that gospel love. I've often wondered, I don't know, maybe my friends in middle school and high school and elementary school, maybe they were really very loving, and I just had to start a heart of stone and I couldn't receive it. I don't know. Maybe that's the case. I've tried to reevaluate those things. I don't know. But I knew in that moment that it was a turning point as I started to see this full orb picture, that the Lord was working in my life. He didn't say anything revolutionary. In fact, I talked to him years later about it, and he said, "Yeah, I thought that was kind of a wasted meeting." If you ask him today about it, he doesn't remember it at all, so anything I say at this point is true. But anyways, all right, but he acknowledged that. But you know, what gave such power to that meeting wasn't how clever or creative he was, but he was obediently loving someone as Christ has commanded him to love. And it was the work of God. And we want to think that if we just could do the steps, everything will turn out the way we want it. And we pray for people to come. We pray for people to believe. We pray for people to grow in grace. But ultimately, we pray and we leave that at the throne of God and we say, "God, do your work." Because God alone gives the increase. And so many times he gives the increase in a different season than we thought it would come. But that's us being humble at his work and saying, "Lord, you're God, do your will."